Just sit right back and hear them tell the tale of a podcast crew who gather around their mighty drink to give their point of view. As man is a panel fire, he shows that he has fun, and Donny, our host, will jump along, guiding us through the storm, guiding us through the storm. Big T's our rock, he keeps us true, he often gets his say, and just alive he knows the girls when everything dragons win, and everything dragons win. The Mad Dragon podcast is a journey unforeseen, with Tasman and Donny Tudor, and there's Big T and Coco, just the start, Mazza and the other crew, here on the Mad Dragon podcast.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast, proudly sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions, a family-owned and operated business with more than 100 years of combined experience. Jeff and his team specialise in your Sydney warehouse refurbishments and fit-outs for new industrial and commercial outlets. Based on Commerce Drive in Lake Illawarra, get in touch with the team on 42571930 or 0423. Anyway, that's get in touch with them on Commerce Drive in Lake Illawarra. They are your one-stop shop for all your warehousing needs. But yeah, we're back at Wynn Stadium this Saturday night, a home game, and we take on the Parramatta Eels. It's our first meeting against the Eels away from Combank in quite some time. But Rob, take us through the an interesting looking side that Flano has named this afternoon.
We got Clint Gutherson at fullback, and on the wing, returning Corey Allen, and CT returning as well too. On the wing, which is great. Moses Suley and Valentine Holmes in the centres. LKT, Lachlan King Toger at 5'8". And at 7, we have Lachlan Ilias. Oh, sorry, Jake. Kyle Flanagan at 8. And prop, Emre Gula. Hooker, Damien Cook. Prop, David Clemmer. Second row, Toby Couchman and Jaden Sewer. And locking the scrum, Jack DeBellin. And our 14, Jacob Little. 15, Hamish Stewart. And 16, interesting, Viliami Fafita coming back into the team after quite a while. And 17, Luciano Leilua. And our 18th, disappointing for me, is Loco. Would have liked to have seen kept going, but it is what it is. 19, Lachlan Ilias. 20, Blake Laurie. 21, Nick the Greek, and 22, Nathan Lawson. And that, back to you, Jess.
Yep, thank you for that, Rob. An interesting looking side that Flano has named this afternoon to take on Parramatta at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong on Saturday night. But this weekend we also celebrate the 9th annual Beanie for Brain Cancer round, raising awareness for the Mark Hughes Foundation. The former Newcastle Knights player was diagnosed with brain cancer back in July 2013. So since 2014, the Mark Hughes Foundation has been raising much-needed funds for brain cancer research, creating awareness, and supporting patients and their families. So by making a purchase, you are helping the Mark Hughes Foundation in the fight to beat brain cancer. So you can purchase your beanies for just $29 from your local IGA, Lowe's, Woolworths, or on the Mark Hughes Foundation website, or at a game this weekend if you are heading to the game. So yeah, first of all, before we get into that, Youngie, can you just run us the how good is it the game's doing raising awareness for such a worthy cause like brain cancer? So many people dying from that.
Well, I think it's a great cause, and it's a great yearly event. Mark Hughes, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Mark Hughes event that they run yearly. I think it's a terrific thing, and particularly for anyone that's had a family member that's had brain cancer. It's not a good thing.
it's good that to the sports bet as always, as they do every year for the Beanie for Brain Cancer round, every try scored during round 17, they'll be donating $1,000 to the Mark Hughes Foundation, which is very good to see. And you can get them this weekend, and they're available wherever you can get them. So yeah, IGA, Lowe's, Woolies, Mark Hughes Foundation. Head to your local store and pick up a beanie today. This is the unisex one, nice and warm as well, and there is a grey one as well if you just want the male version. But yeah, this can be worn by anyone really.
Yeah.
But yeah, get those this weekend and show your support for brain cancer, and also
I've got the Bogan version.
All right, but we'll head into this. Let's have it over to you, Big T, when we discuss.
Thank you very much.
Come with me as we go behind enemy lines.
G'day, Dragons fans. I'm Big T, and this is Behind Enemy Lines. Round 17. God, come on, it's going too quick. Against Parramatta. Before I bring in a guest, let's have a look at this Parramatta side. Well, at the back, we got Isaiah Iongi, Zach Lomax, and Josh Adokar in the centres. Jordan Samrani and Sean Russell in the centres. Dylan Brown and Dean Hawkins in the halves. No Moses. Jack Williams, Joey Lussick, and Junior Paolo, Big Junior, in the front row. Kelma Tuolangi and Katoni Katoa, or Katonga, as I should say. Jermaine Hopgood locks the scrum. On the bench, Dylan Walker, very, very scary player, Dylan Walker. Kelma Tuolangi, Matt Dory, Chuck Geimer, Joash Papali, Dan Kerr, Tony Mataele, Brendan Hands, Ronald Vulcan, and Samuel Loizu, I think that's how you pronounce it. Jason Riles is the coach. Bringing our guest, how are you, Troy?
Going fantastic, fellas. Thanks again for letting me on your show again. It was certainly a successful time last time I was on, so hoping that's repeated again on the weekend. So.
Yeah, very good, very good. So what do you think of the side you picked? Well, before we go into that, tell us what podcasts and vodcasts and TV shows you're on.
Well, I haven't done any TV shows this year, unfortunately, but it doesn't look like I'll be doing any this year in September. But I'm on I've got my own podcast, the Parra Cave podcast. This one here, and also I'm a part of the Talking Parra podcast as well, which is a Parramatta-based podcast for fans. Juggling the two each and every week, and it's a lot of fun. So you can find them on Apple, Spotify, YouTube as well.
Is the Talking Parrot podcast just a bunch of nuffers like us getting together and talking?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, about the same number, five, six guys, passionate Parramatta fans, and yeah, we shoot the breeze every week, much like yourselves. It's good fun, isn't it?
It is good fun. I like doing it. All right, let's have a look at what's going on this year. 5-9, same as us, but we're 5-8. It's a bit bleak, but have a look at the draw. From 4th to 17th, there is like 6 points. Like, it's so tight. Did you imagine this year was going to be so tight?
No, I thought Parramatta were going to be in a better position than we are at the moment, but it's obviously a rebuilding phase. But no, you're right. I mean, any team outside of the 8 at the moment can possibly go on a run and make the 8. So I think the top 4 is probably sort of sorted. Just not sure about the order of that top 4, but those 4 sides will be there. And as I said, if anyone can go on a run and string those couple of wins together, and the boys, if they do have any left, they can get into that top 8.
Well, you look
exactly
at Penrith
right.
were
Like,
last a month ago. Now they're in the 8.
they were. That's crazy. It's just crazy. And like, if they don't make the top 4, they could be the first team to go and do it from the 8th position. You know what I mean? So they're a team that can do it.
It'd be crazy to write them off.
I've written them off. They won't be there.
Talking about before, Troy, your expectancy for this year, you were saying you wanted to be a bit higher. Where did you think your Parramatta were going to finish, or where did you think they'd be at this time of the year?
I did early on say 6th position that we'd fall into. I thought we were a better side than last year. Obviously, I didn't realise the amount of changes that we had was going to impact that, and it was going to be baby steps to get where we're going at the moment. We had a slow start to the season, obviously got smashed by Melbourne that first round, a couple of bad weeks leading after that, but especially the last month is really 4 to 5 weeks has improved, even though we probably haven't got those wins against the Bulldogs or the Panthers for that matter as well. But there certainly has been improvement. And look, the more games that these young blokes play, I mean, you look at someone like Isaiah Iongi, who's played, I think, 15 first grade games, and he's just getting better and better each and every week. So, and I think Jason Riles is working his coaching caper out as well. And yeah, he's only getting better in his coaching as well. So, look, I didn't think we would be 15th position at the moment. I thought we would have been a little bit higher and then potentially finished in 6th. But, look, we've had Mitchell Moses injured for most of the year. We've had your former favourite ex-player, Zach Lomax. He was out for a while as well, 5-6 weeks, I think it was. So we've had injuries. Haven't necessarily had suspensions this year, which is a change, but just the injuries to key players.
Talking about Lomax there, I'm going to say his name from now on. I'm over it. He's dead to me. See you later, Zach. Talking about Lomax, when you're watching Lomax, do you cheer him on, or that he doesn't do anything dragony?
Who, me?
Well, he does silly things. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he's got all that dragon stuff out of his game now, I think. But
and he's realised Wing's his favourite spot now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wanted him to start on the wing this season, but he started.
You promised him centre.
Yeah, I know, but probably Brad Arthur promised him.
Yeah, probably that's right. Yeah.
Last year, and he was gone. But I think Zach's realised himself that wing is his position, and I think if he's going to be picked for rep sides, then he has to play that position. I think so. He's realised that, and that's where he'll be playing for the rest of the year, no doubt. So, definitely. The only downside with Zach is the fact that the opposition knows what's going to happen on a 5th tackle. So, it's always going to be kicked over to his side. So, that's
a good halfback can change his mind at the last minute. You know what I mean? Like they can see them all down there covering it, kick it the other way. So just a quick one before everybody else gets a question in. Who won the trade between Lomax and Gutherson?
Well, you'd have to say Gutho. I mean, when I say that, I mean Gutho's played every game this year, hasn't he? So Lomax has been out for 5 weeks with a broken foot, but. Yeah, probably 2 different scenarios. I mean, I guess with Parramatta and Lomax is probably he didn't have the expectation on him to come to Parramatta and be like he was at the Dragons. He had other players around him, but Gutho certainly has played. Has probably been one of your best players for this season.
100%. I reckon Gutho cops a lot of shit, but I reckon he's going good.
All right, you guys, you got any questions? Any questions for Troy? Anybody?
I want to say this. He didn't have his best kicking boots on for the Blues, but when he plays for Parra, he scores 6 goals. What's the go there?
6 out of 6 last week. I don't know. I mean, I would have liked him, obviously, to have his kicking boots on for New South Wales as well. But, the same thing happened with Cleary as well. He could kick him for Penrith against us, but couldn't kick him for New South Wales. But I don't know. It's different balls in Origin, isn't it? Isn't that the reason?
That's what Joey says.
So I don't know. Let's just hope he can keep on kicking them this weekend as well. And the next Origin as well.
I like Jason Rolls. I know there was a chance obviously he's going to come to the Dragons. He's gone to Parra. But I just think being in that Melbourne system with Craig Bellamy, obviously probably most of the time with Bellamy and then obviously with Robbo as well. But that Polish system of the Storm, experiencing, being the assistant coach down there, I think that really holds you guys in good stead. Because I hold Craig Bellamy right up the top as the best coaches in the game. So to learn off someone like Craig Bellamy for a number of years, the way Rolls has, can only be good for you guys, really. I know he'll stamp his own mark, but geez, I mean, what a great mentor to learn off.
Yeah, for sure. And I think at the start of the season, he did mention that as well. Like, people did expect him to take things from Melbourne and the Roosters as well. And look, he did say, look, I'll probably will take a couple of things there, but I'm still going to coach my own way. I haven't just come here to coach like Craig Bellamy. I'm going to coach the way I want to coach. So, look, he's brought in a different realm of things to Parramatta, like getting everyone involved from the club. Everyone who wears the Parramatta badge is involved at the club, and different culture there now. So what was previously there. So everyone's happy that he's there now. So and going all right. So it was a good choice in the end. And I think probably he didn't take the Dragons job too, because I think maybe that could have been a little bit more pressure, if you know what I mean, because he played for the Dragons.
Under a club who hasn't won a comp for 50 years, is a bit tougher to cover the Dragons. Oh my God! We must be a basket case.
There's always that pressure on coaches if they've like played for the club or been involved with the club. So maybe
I see where you come from.
It was a bit different.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
And they probably had brushed the youngest spine on Sunday, it was, when you played the Titans. Like, you had two rookies in Oyongi and Papali, and people were saying, oh, you might struggle without Dylan Brown, Mitchell Moses. I know it's only the Titans, but they still went well for pretty much a rookie spine.
Yeah, well, you have to start playing sometime, don't you? And look, I think, as you said, it was only the Titans, but you still have to beat who's in front of you. So, and they still had to score, obviously, more points than the Titans as well. And those two players that you mentioned, they've come on leaps and bounds. As I mentioned before, Isaiah Ongi, he's got huge reps on him. People say that he could potentially be a Queensland fullback in a few years' time. Joash Papali, a lot of people were calling him to be picked earlier on in the year, and he didn't get that opportunity, and he accepted that as well. He was happy to play New South Wales Cup and get more game time and learn more. But now this week there was a lot of pressure on him last week, starting at 5'8" for the first time, with Dylan missing, being suspended, but now he's on the bench, and you probably come on. Well, his debut, he was on the bench as well, and he came on after 3 minutes or something for Will Penasini, who was knocked out of the game. Right. So that was handy on that occasion, and this occasion, probably maybe this weekend, he might be used maybe in a bit of a second backup hooker to Lussick potentially. Or there might be other suggestions as well that might back Lustig up as well. But it's good the exuberant youth on the team at the moment, and they're certainly holding their own. So you chuck in Riley Smith as well, who's not playing unfortunately this weekend, but he's a competitor, and he makes his 40, 50 tackles every game, and he'll chase kickers down and the like. So and it looks like the news today potentially that he'll be upgraded into the top 30 squad. So that's great news for him and well deserved.
Yeah,
got
so
one
that's
of your
like pretty
picks
good.
left in it, Troy?
Hey, mate, you got a fan on there. Diggs 96. Does it say Diggs 96 or Diggs 96?
Yeah, it's good. Good bloke, Diggs. One of my followers. Good bloke.
You got a mate, a supporter.
Yeah, mate. He follows me on the podcast, so I'll probably see him on the Talking Parra podcast after this one.
Well, it's good to see him on our podcast.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well,
Maybe we got to follow it too.
maybe.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, boys, are you done for questions?
Yeah.
Guys, I think it might be time for this. Come with me as we take a walk down memory lane. I should have some music behind me. Brought to you by Essence and Light, a small batch soap and candle manufacturer, www.essenceandlight.com.au. Go there and have a look. All this stuff is great. Fantastic. We played just 43 times, 24 wins to Parramatta, 17 wins to us. Parramatta have scored 902 points. Dragons have scored 808. The game we're going back to is Friday, May 28, 2010, Wynn Stadium, Wollongong, round 12, Dragons versus Parramatta. Referee Ben Cummins and Jared Maxwell. Crowd 15,068. Just run through these side. Darius Boyd back to the Dragons. BMOS and Jason Nightingale, our best wingers we've ever had on the wings. Unusual Scott and Stanley in the centres. Sowie and Hornby, 1/2 and 5'8". Pryor, Prittis and Wayman up front. Neville Costigan, Ben Cray and Dean Young locks the scrum. Wayne Bennett was the cage, as we know this. John Green, Jared Saffy, Trent Merrin and Clint Greenshields is our 17. Daniel Anderson was the coach of Parramatta that day. Jared Hayne, Luke Burt, and Christian Inu, the smiling goal kicker on the wings. John O'Wright and Tamana Tahu in the centres. Chris Keating and Daniel Mortimer in the halves. Jason Kalis. Is it Jason Kalis?
Nathan
Kalis, that's him. Nathan Kalis, Robson, and Fui Moi Moi. What a name. Cult figure he was back then.
Scope, number 11.
Pardon?
They call him the Scope, number 11.
Oh, Justin Hurro, the scope, is it? Ben Smith and Felidi Mateo locks the scrum. Michael Keating, Chris's brother. Tim Manor, Justin Paul, and Brendan Oakes.
It's Matt Keating.
The 17.
You think you're
Matt
actor?
Keating, is it? Have I got Michael? I've got Michael. There you go.
Paul Keating's
Should write it down, part of Justin Paul played for the Dragons for 6 seasons, 04 to 09, 5 tries, 71 wins while he was at the Dragons, so that was pretty good. Then he went to England, Wakefield 2 try, Wakefield and Huntcooks Rovers 13 and 14, Parramatta 10 and 12, 1 try and only 17 wins in that time he was at Parramatta. Justin Paul,
What happened
the last
to him?
3 years, hang on, I'm about to tell you. The last 3 years, Justin Paul has been going through depression and mental health problems. What happened there? Anyway, mental health problems. He was a member of the New South Wales Police Force back in 2021. And the Commissioner of Police demanded that every police officer get the COVID-19 vaccine. Justin Paul was one of 5 who didn't accept the mandate that the Commissioner put through. So he got issued with a Section 181D, I think it was, which is when the Commissioner loses faith in a police officer, he can be sacked. So that now the COVID's been debunked and they're saying it was not legal. He's fighting New South Wales Police now. He wants his job back. but he wants to clear his name mostly. Because getting an issue with a 181D means you don't get a job anywhere anymore because you're a dishonest copper.
Jeez.
And nobody looks
That's
back
harsh.
at that and says,
That's harsh.
it is harsh. That's because he didn't follow the commissioner's mandate. So anyway, he's fighting that now. Good on you, Justin. And good luck. Good luck in the future. Anyway, that's the game we're going back to. Ben Hornby, what are you doing there? That's the game we're going back to. Round 12, Dragons Parramatta, 2010. The first 25 minutes was back and forth. It was like a game of forcings back. But the 26th minute from inside his own half, Beamos streaks down the left into Parramatta's half, passed inside to a flying Ben Horney, who had to be flying to catch Brett Morris. Tell me, wasn't that quick? He went over under post. Dragons 6, Parramatta 0. Jamie Soward penalty goal in the 52nd minute. Dragons 8, Parramatta 0. Half time. Dragons 8, Parramatta 0. Second half. Brett Morris in the corner. After a sweeping play to the left, Prentice from dummy half to Hornby to Boyd. Brett Morris over in the corner. Couldn't stop him. No chance. Parramatta weren't good enough. And Cole Stanley gets out there. Jamie Soward puts icing on the cake for the last drive. After scrapping the in-goal, the ball's bouncing everywhere. It was like a game of pinball. Cole Stanley gets his hand to the ball. It's Dragons 18, Parramatta 0. In the 70th minute, a miracle Trent Marin pass. Back to Sowie, quickly passes it to Matt Pryor, who barges to the line, drops it out the back. Jason Nightingale swoops on the ball, puts it in the corner. And from the sideline again, Jamie Soward kicks it. Dragons 24, Parramatta 0. In the 77 minutes, absolute brilliance from Jamie Soward. A chip out from 10 metres out. Darius Boyd jumps up, grabs the ball, passes it back to Matt Pryor again, who had a man of the match game, I thought. Pryor off to Soward, who, like every good 5'8", remember Terry Lamb, what a great backer-upper he was. Under the posts. Dragon kicked, Sowie kicked 5 from 6 that night. Full time. Dragons 30, Parramatta 0. That's a very common score for the Dragons over the last few years. So, this week on Moments of Yesterday. Where is he? Moments of Yesterday. Ian Johnson grew up in the Illawarra, and he actually still lives in the Illawarra. If you're online, Ian, give me a thumbs up.
He's online. He's watching.
He's a Dragons tragic, this guy. He's trying to pick up the skeg chips back in the day. Look at him go, hey? What a surfer. I wonder if he can surf now. Can you surf now, Ian? Anyway, this is the picture that he sent me, Ian Johnson, 8/5, 1960. Dad turns the radio on, listening to Frank High call the Dragon and Manly game. Chang was cutting it up, and that's when he became a Dragons fan. 60 years later, and still a supporter. And that's like every time. Oh, I haven't got it where I don't know where it is. I've got him a photo. Dragons 30s, Parramatta 0. At the footy, this has been a big T presentation brought to you by the Mad Dragons podcast. Essence and Light, small batch candle makers. Go to essenceandlight.com.au. And that's it. That's all for the game. Thank you very much. Dragons 30, Parramatta 0.
Can I just say?
Thank you very much.
Can I just say, I think round 2, 2017 at Wynn Stadium was a much better.
You reckon that was better?
No, I don't remember that game.
Well,
No? Oh,
maybe you can do a walk down memory lane on your show. You can do a walk down memory lane on your show.
I do remember, but both the halves actually spent time at the Dragons. One of them's currently with the Dragons. I was at that game.
And your fullback scored a try for us on that day too.
And that
All right, Troy, we're going to get on with our podcast.
Good
You go to yours.
2009 semi-final. It still gives me nightmares.
Oh, that's another good game too. Yeah, it's about that one.
Yeah. Maybe on your podcast, Troy. Thanks for joining us.
You come and did that to us.
When we won the minor premiership, that was much better. That game.
It was, yeah. 25-0 or something. Thanks for joining us, Troy. You've been absolutely fantastic. Diggs, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thanks, Troy.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Put it up there.
Look,
Your
may the best
prediction
team
for the
win on
game.
the weekend, and may that be Parramatta.
Well, we're at win. It's our turn to win at win. So we've got you, son. We've got you.
For some
Thanks for
reason,
joining
you
us,
guys
man.
always play better down there. I don't know what it is.
See you in the semis.
Best of luck.
So, yeah, go Parra.
See you, mate.
All right. Thanks for coming
Well,
on, Troy, as
Can we
always.
talk Jamie Soward tonight? And that did anyone see that interview during the
I
week?
did. Yeah,
I
we can
didn't
talk
know.
about that later. Billy has just sent his apologies and he won't be able to make the show. He's having Wi-Fi issues and he won't be on tonight. So, but he has given us a prediction for a 34-18 win for us with Moses Sully to score at any time. So Billy has sent in his apologies as he having technical issues and won't be joining us this evening. All right. Well, as mentioned before, it is Beanie for Brain Cancer Round, and our boys are getting right behind that as well as all the NRL teams are. Let's hear from them as they get behind this cause.
Hey Dragons fans, it's Gutho here. Hi Dragons fans, Jacob Little here.
Hey Dragons fan, it's Homicelli here.
This weekend it's NRL's Beanie for Brain Cancer Round in support of the Mark Hughes Foundation. Though you may not be able to get to the game on Saturday versus the Eels,
You can still support and buy a beanie by visiting markhughesfoundation.com.au.
go the Dragons. Hey Dragons fans, it's Gutho here. Hi Dragons fans, Jacob Little here.
On repeat.
And then that's it. So, yeah, good to see Guffo and Guffo and then Jacob Little and Hame Sally all getting behind that. And, yeah, if you can't get to the game, still go out and get a beanie. But we'll get into the chat about our team, the team that Flano has picked this afternoon. But, yeah, first of all, we'll start with you, Youngie. Corey Allen returns on the wing after he hasn't played since that Broncos win. Picked up a hamstring injury in that game. He comes in for Tyrell Sloan. What are your thoughts on that selection?
Am I the only Corey Allen fan in here? I reckon he's a good player. I reckon he goes really good.
No.
So,
He's a good player too.
yeah. He's got state of origin experience. He defends well. He makes good decisions. He's not always perfect, but I honestly think he's one of our better options on the wing at the moment. So, yeah, happy to see him back.
Well, to be fair too, Daz, I'm sure everybody watched the game against Cronulla.
Yep.
It was terrible.
Oh.
I mean, our high ball. I mean, I know that's one thing Corey can do well is catch a high ball. So, and then run it back as well too. You know, the back three. But yeah, that was deplorable. You know, so not picking on Sloan. Obviously, the news today, Jesse, you might tell everybody later, but I think he's gone.
I just watch him in defence. I really like his
It was
defence.
Lawson as well.
Yeah. There was a debacle, even Gutho as well.
But
Well, this is what happens when you're chopping and changing players, I guess. You know, and they don't.
That's right.
You know, there's no cohesion in defence, so need some consistency and stability in the team.
Well, just
somehow.
hoping that they haven't come back too soon because that's open the CT, right, with the hamstring.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
So
right.
I haven't taken CT, the bloody hamstring doesn't go on again or something like that.
Are they bringing him back too early? Is the question.
Yeah.
that question's for you now, Rob. So he returns. He did make that brief return against the Dolphins. Only lasted about 10 minutes. Then he walked off the tunnel. Was named to play New South Wales Cup, but it was a late scratching, as was Corey Allen. How big is an inclusion if he's right to go this weekend? He's got a huge one-on-one battle too up against Zach Lomax.
Well, I mean, it's a massive inclusion for us. I mean, we just talked about the Cronulla game. We were putrid, terrible on our wings. Yeah, I mean, as we know with CT, he's probably one of our best players, right? Like last season, this season, when he's been on the field. But yeah, I just worry about that bloody hamstring. So I just hope and pray that he comes back as a solid game. I mean, love him to score a try, of course, but we just need him every week. He's just so solid for us. Carting the ball back under the high ball, and that's what we lack on the wing at the moment. So we need that. we really need him back. So he's only going to add value to our team and also adds passion to our team as well too. I think, Jesse, you made a valid point. The heads went down against the Sharks, like little schoolboys. CT's not like that. He's a passionate guy. He's let's get back in. We're on top. He's right into it. So probably couldn't have a better player for passion playing for us. How excited he gets, and show me the money it costs as well too. So you could always throw a few $100 notes around before the game. I'm sure the fans will like that. But yeah, no, it's exciting, mate. Just to get back, probably, our better players that we've been missing out on with CT. So hopefully on the upward spiral, mate. I hope so.
To answer your question there, Ian, yes, he was named originally, but he was a late scratching. Tyrell Sloan and Nathan Lawson dropped back to play on the wings in New South Wales Cup. Corey Allen was also named to play, but they were both late scratchings. Probably because maybe Flano might have said to he wants him to play first grade this week and he didn't want him to play Cup. I don't know if that's true or not, but that could be a potential reason. Big T. I know Val Holmes back after a win in Origin. He's best kicking all year. Hasn't done that for us many times, but he got 5 out of 5 playing for Queensland, kicking.
Queenslander! 1-1, boys. 1-1.
Bring back that form to the Dragons.
We're going to come to Sydney and do it again. Oh, of course he can. He's one of our better players. He makes the meters. He's been off with his boot in recent times, but he's coming back. He's coming good.
He's got to bring those boots back to the Dragons.
For sure he will. He's my man.
He'll do it. Big T will have you wearing a Queensland jersey on the weekend, mate.
I've got a what?
You'll have him wearing a Queensland jersey in the game on Saturday.
Oh, for sure.
Half the Dragons, half the Queensland.
Underneath his Dragons one.
Yeah, there you go.
Underneath it, mate. Let's go.
That's a secret weapon, mate. He does that. And
you kick all the goals.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Queensland, Katoa's got to be getting close to getting a halfback role, wouldn't he? From the Dolphins?
He'd be in the conversation, but if Cleary's not fit, I'm not sure it's the environment to be putting in mid-debut a deciding Origin game in Sydney. That's a big.
He'd handle it though.
Queenslanders pull players from reserve grade and have done in the past. Alan Langer, years ago, I think he was plucked from reserve grade, wasn't he?
The great Gus Gould last night said
it doesn't matter to
Queensland in putting in Adam Reynolds.
Wow.
I agree with Tony. He does drop the ball a lot, but he gets his hand on the ball a lot more. So, I agree. He does drop the ball, but he's always trying things. Go back to
the 1980s and 80s and 90s. Man, I went to school with ET. I watched ET come through. Laurie Daly. They were all 19, 20 when they played Origin for New South Wales. So, I mean,
age is not a factor.
You throw a player like that into a big game, it can really be the makings of a career.
Yeah, he also
be the scoring one too.
I wouldn't hesitate to put him in.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jaden Sewer returns. He hasn't played since that win over the Knights. Rob, how big an inclusion is he? Brings a lot of experience back, and he's a very reliable player as well, Jaden Sewer.
Another massive inclusion for us. I mean, amongst our best players. So it's only going to strengthen us. And obviously, when Sewer's on, he's a state of origin player. He brings X factor to us in that full pack. And again, I figured in the last couple of games, we bloody need him because the last couple of games, the line speed, especially of the Dolphins, was unbelievable. And then we were sitting back against Parra as well too. And I don't see Sewer as a player who's going to sit back. He likes confrontation. He likes to tackle hard. He likes to run hard. So, mate, right time for us this weekend to. And I suspect he'll bust tackles for us, and he'll make a mess of the opposition. I rate him that much for us. Being back at our team. So I'm only so excited, mate. To be honest with you. I felt a bit sorry for him with the injury and felt sorry for him in State of Origin this year because I thought that, he could have been a chance. I know he's probably gone off his game since he played Origin last, but mate, he's a true champion player. So I'm glad he's playing for us and not for Parra.
Just on that, you mentioned Jaden Sewer and Origin. Big T. This is the last game before they decides for the decider. If Jaden Sewer gets through this game unscathed and has a good game, does he come in, or you think Billy Slater will go in unchanged lineup for the decider?
I think Billy Slater will go in unchanged. I don't think Sewer would have to have the best game and score.
Still might not get in.
It still might not get in. That's right. So yeah, but who knows? Who knows with Sewer in the team? Who knows with anybody in the team? Flanagan plays silly buggers, and Sewer might be out, and Laurie might be in. Who knows? Who knows with Flano now? He just changes it at will.
With Fafita on the
other one I want to talk about is, if you're going to talk about it, Ilias no reserve break.
Yep, that one we will get into. But Youngie, a shock selection on the bench. Viliami Fafita hasn't been in anyone's radar to make a return to first grade. Hasn't played since round 3 last year. Donnie highlighted he's only averaging 25 minutes a game in New South Wales Cup.
Yeah. I haven't seen him do anything spectacular, but New South Wales Cup team's been going really good, so maybe they're seeing something I haven't seen. I don't know. He's a shock for me. There would have been other players from New South Wales Cup I would have thrown in, so maybe they're giving him a make or break opportunity.
Or is it Flano playing silly buggers?
Well, is it a last-minute scratching or something like that? But, I've not seen anything to... look, I'm not going to say anything too negative, but I haven't seen anything that warrants a first-grade position.
And Loco's the one that makes way for him.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
And what's Loco done wrong to get dropped?
I don't think he's done anything wrong. I think with the young blokes, especially with...
Don't burn them out.
Just bring them on slowly. Yeah,
that's right. Give him 2 or 3 games, and then give him a week off. Bring another guy up. Maybe give him 2 games.
Yeah,
and then bring the other guy back after that. Whatever
it's their first season, they don't want to burn them.
Yeah. I was just talking to Jess earlier too. They're different players. If Stewart and Dylan Egan, they could play 80 minutes every day of the week.
Yep,
they could play all day every day. Whereas the XPT, Pacifica Tonga, and Viliami, they're like 20 minutes at a time players. 15 minutes at a time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, they're different players.
Flano had the same approach with the Couchman twins last year.
Exactly right. You've got to bring them on slowly, and I think he's doing the right thing with Loco, making him 18th man. He's got the experience now. If he's needed, he can go and do the job.
Yep, and he may go down to New South Wales Cup and get some longer minutes as well.
And he was assistant coach at Manly, so Fafita came from there. So he obviously knows Fafita pretty well.
Who was the other guy that came with him from Manly?
Alec Tuatavaka, who's now in
Tuatavaka, that's right. I was trying to think of his name the other day. I was talking to a mate. Today,
Wakefield?
Oh, is he? Oh, cool. He didn't quite come on well, did he?
We need some middles, though. Jeez.
All right.
Yep. The players left out from the loss to Cronulla a fortnight ago. The first one we'll go through, Tyrell Sloan, Youngie.
Put me under the blow. I don't want to say anything negative, but geez, he was.
Just sit there and be quiet. Like,
I think.
My mummy said I've got nothing good to say.
Can I pass on that one?
I don't think he was going to be in the team last week. I don't think he was going to be in the team last week.
Yeah.
Reports
because Allen and Tuatavaka weren't available, he was in the side.
Flano's saying you're free to negotiate with other clubs. So
and that's pretty much sums tonight. Flano would have been watching that game, just shaking his head. That's all I'll say. And that's probably why that's happened this week.
We'll talk about that later, big team. We'll talk more in depth about the Tyrell Sloan.
Queenslander.
Nick Sagranis, many talking that he did enough to retain his spot after a solid debut. 180 meters in that game against the Sharks. Rob, were you expecting him to retain his spot, or were you expecting him to fall out of the 17 now that Val's back?
As much as I love Nick's story and actually having a St George player from the St George area debut, it was quite obvious he was there for that game only. You know, when Hames came back from Origin, obviously Hames comes back in. So as much as I love Nick Degree, great story, but a lovely guy, lovely dad, lovely family. And he's been playing well in Cup. I mean, a part of a Cup-winning team, 9 in a row. I mean, that's pretty bloody good. But yeah, I think he was just covering that position till Hames came back into the team.
And the other person that drops out, Nathan Lawson. I know, Rob, you highlighted it that we weren't great under the high ball. Sloan and Lawson, commentators said they couldn't catch a cold. Big T, what do you make of the Nathan Lawson's played, 3 or 4 games now in the NRL? Still got a long way to go to make it, hasn't he?
He's no Mark Nawita Nangawase. He's no.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, he's
no Mark Nawita Nangawase, but he does need a bit more
that
time.
Was the guy we needed this time.
We got the wrong one, did we?
Yeah.
Well, no, they didn't get the wrong Nawase because they couldn't say his name. So how are you supposed to? There was nobody there to pronounce his name. Come on, Dragons!
The ball.
No, they couldn't. But he's a revelation at the Roosters, isn't he? Wow, same sort of player.
Only on 500 grand, and he's talking wants to go back to rugby.
But he's been here a lot longer than Lawson has.
Lawson's just walked in.
Experience.
That's right. Exactly right. Experience. Same as Warbrick. We've talked about it before. Come from the same place, a long time in the lower grades before he got to start.
And there's not many that come from rugby union that become really successful. I mean, we had a great Michael O'Connor, if you remember, for the Dragons.
I'll tell you what, you want rugby players, go and have a look at the Queensland Premier Rugby. There's plenty of players you could pluck from that Brothers team up there. I follow Brothers up in Queensland. Great squad.
I haven't noticed it.
You haven't noticed it? Oh, some good players they've got. So recruitment officers, go and have a look at them.
Rugby union fan.
Nawangani Tawasi will be, by the end of the year, he'll be in the Fijian team.
Sure.
By the end of the year. He's been one of the guys of the year. That's for sure.
Oh, you mean national.
He'll be State of Origin next year.
Yep. Hopefully the Roosters. Well,
no, Toto.
We're not talking about Roosters, but they he's only signed with the Roosters till next year. They are keen to extend him, but the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup, is in 2027. It's being held in Australia, and there is a cherry dangling in front of him that he may go back to rugby. We don't want to lose him to rugby, but yeah.
What's the cherry? You'll get picked in the national side, is it?
And the Wallabies. The Wallabies.
They're desperate.
They're playing the World Cup.
They are so desperate.
League hasn't worked out for him.
Wallaby.
They're bordering on bankruptcy. Why would you go back there?
I don't know.
Anyway, lower grades, we'll get into that. You're on the Mad Dragons podcast, sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions. Jersey Flag, Saturday will be played at 11 a.m. against Parramatta. We played down in my country, down at Centenary Field at the Croom Sporting Complex in Albion Park.
Oh, nice.
So this is the way the Dragons will line up. Tyler Peckham-Harris at the back, Toby Rumble and Jesse Williams on the wings. Lyric Craft, Team Moanui, and Charlie Heidke are the centres. Shardy Hamoud and Cade Reid are the halves. The front row is Jet Liu and Ryan Hutchison. He's the captain. The hooker is Isaiah Fagalillo. The second row is the New South Wales under-19s representative Cyrus Stanley Trail. Jarrett Traweek and Matthew Alhazem on the bench. For the Dragons, it is Kyan Haljartson, Campbell Ruby, Tobias Miller, unknown number 17. And the replacement player is Viliami Armoni, and the coach is Shane Billy Millard. And then 3:10 on Saturday in the New South Wales Cup. It'll be at Wynn Stadium, so it's the curtain raiser to the NRL game on Saturday afternoon. So if you can get to Wynn Stadium a bit early on Saturday and get out and cheer the New South Wales Cup boys. they're going for 9 in a row, so it'd be good to see them go for that. Cody Ramsey at fullback and captain on the wings, Tyrell Sloan and Sione Finau. Nathan Lawson in the centres. He'll wear jersey 19 alongside Nick Sagranis. The halves, Jonah Glover, no halfback name, so no Lachlan Ilias named, but he has been named on the extended bench in the NRL, so it'll be interesting to see how that does play out. Front rowers, Blake Laurie and no other front rower there as well. Connor Mollison is the hooker. The back row, Michael Milo, Raymond Vitala Mariner, and Hame Sele locks the scrum. The bench, we have Hiali Finau, Jacob Halangahu, a try scorer in the New South Wales under-19s, Ben Murdoch-Masilla, and also Jacob Webster. And the 18th player, he's been a try-scoring freak so far this year in New South Wales Cup. That's Ben Rumble. And the coach is Willie Tellau. And a shout-out to our New South Wales under-19s reps. So they all taste well. The girls had a win 26 points to 10 up at Sunshine Coast Stadium, while the boys went down 23 points to 22 in the under-19s origin. So congratulations to all our under-19s representatives, Jacob Halangahu, Hayden Buchanan, Cyrus Stanley Trail, Indy Bostock, Casey Ray, Bronte Wilson scored the first try for New South Wales, and also Maria Paseka, and our Steelers juniors, the hooker Tori Shipton, and also Liesl Hopewati.
Halangahu's got to be getting close to a start.
Another Hopewati, yes.
Another hopper.
And a special mention to our NRLW player Casey Ray, who was appointed New South Wales captain and also named Woman of the Match for the second year in a row, and even got a sensational solo try to go with it. Other news, so we had the NRLW. They played their only trial last Sunday afternoon against the Tigers at Leica Oval. Dragons winning the game 12 points to 4, so there was no goal kicking in the game, with tries to Tegan Berry, Keely Brown, and Big T's favourite. Good to see her back, Margot Vella, Big T.
Margot Vella, good to see her back. I heard Zali Hopkins had a good game too.
She did, yes. Casey Ray and Indy Bostock did not play as they played in the under-19s game on Thursday night. And Sarah Satir, who was a guest on our show just a few weeks ago, she's still recovering from the foot injury she picked up last year, so she did not play. The Dragons did show plenty of tucker in the trial in defence and showcased some good attacking moments as well. Co-captains Zali Hopkins and Racine McGregor, plus stars Tegan Berry and Hannah Southwell did not play in the second half. Berry made an early try saver on Tigers winger Claudia Nielsen, while Southwell forced a couple of errors with bone-rattling tackles defending the try line. Former Dragons junior Salma Noor was placed on report for a dangerous throw, and she's been suspended for the first 2 rounds of the NRLW. And Berry found a try from an acting half minutes later just inside the corner post. So Flash scoring, doing flash fingers, getting another try. As I said, no goal kicking. The second try went to Margot Vella, streaking down the right-hand touchline off a scrum play with Berry and Jamie Millard combining to put the nugget into open space. I'm not sure if you've seen the try. You can see it on the Dragon socials. It's good to see Margot Vella in open space. Hey, Big T.
It is, mate. You always wait till I put something in my mouth to talk to me.
and then Sinead Lendl continued on where Hannah Southwell left off. So she denied the Tigers their first try with a desperate cover tackle on the other Tigers winger, Caitlin Turnbull. Keely Brown extended the lead to ice the win for the Dragons away from home, and they won the game 12 points to 4 at Leichhardt Oval. We'll hear from a couple of the players from the game. First, we'll hear from our new co-captain, Zali Hopkins.
Ali, you first hit out as co-captain of the club. How did you feel when you first heard that news this week?
Yeah, it's so exciting. Bit of a shock, but we're building something great at the club, so I'm excited to be a part of it.
Successful first trial. You got the win. How did you feel out there?
Me personally, I was a bit fatigued, but it was good to get the win, get a bit of confidence behind the girls, and hopefully it will be a good lead into round 1.
Some new combinations, but you look pretty comfortable out there. There's some good moments in attack and defence. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, awesome. Need to get a bit more combos and hopefully it will work well.
Round 1, just around the corner. How are you feeling heading into it?
Yeah, so excited. I think the girls are pumped and great to get the win today and it'll all turn out well.
So that was Zali Hopkins, our new co-captain, which we'll talk a little bit about very shortly, and hear from our new recruit who's just joining back, inaugural Dragon in 2018, Hannah Southwell. Let's hear from her.
Hannah, first hit out back with the Dragons. How'd it feel?
Yeah, it was good. It was a bit of a blowout in that first 10-15, but I think we've built a lot on that. And, yeah, we've got a few things to fix up in the next couple of weeks, but it's exciting times.
In that first half and second half, how'd you feel about that?
It was good. I wasn't too sure going into the game how we go. Obviously, we haven't played together as a group, but I think we showed up really well for each other, and I think it's just really exciting times ahead for us this year.
Back in the Dragons jersey, how'd it feel pulling it on?
Yeah, it was exciting. It's obviously been a long time, but I'm just happy to be back here and happy to be amongst this cool group of girls.
Only a couple of weeks till round 1. You must really be excited now.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited now. It's good to get the cobwebs out with a trial. But, yeah, like I said before, we've got a few things to build on, and then we're into it, which is exciting.
Yep. Charlie Hopkins and Hannah Southwell there. Big T, what did you make of the of those comments from Hopkins and Southwell?
Well, Zali seems to be quite proud to be the co-captain at the Dragons. She's been a good player for the last 2 years. She's been a great player. She's been playing stopgap. Like she's like Kurt Mann. Plays anywhere in the side and always plays a good game. Yeah, I do like Zali. So yeah, I'm so happy for her that she's co-captain at the club.
Yep, and Hannah Southwell, good to have her back as well in the team.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, let's get her sister back as well. That'll be good.
All right.
Significantly, Jesse, the girls there. One of the girls said, "We're building something special. New coach, we're building something special. Some new players." So yeah, watch this space. The Dragons this season.
Well, we did have the girls on a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying it's different now than it was before. So maybe the change of voice coach. Yeah. So hopefully they'll do well.
Yep, different style of play as well. I expect as they played under Sowie. So let's see what they've got in store for us. They open their season in just over a week's time, actually. So yeah, and actually on that Sunday we have 2 special guests joining us. So we do have the head of the St George Dragons Pathways, Michelle Anderson, as well. And we do have Dragons legend, the first ever captain, the pioneer of rugby league in the Illawarra, and just a pioneer of women's rugby league in general, Sammy Bremner. So they'll be joining us Sunday at 6:30. Come on, and should be a great show. And great to have someone like Sammy back at the Dragons. Finished her career as a premiership winner with the Roosters last year, but good to have her home where she belongs at the Dragons, and great to have her back in there as the first ever female football manager. And yeah, on Sunday before that game, the new coach Nathan Cross announced the co-captains, and let's have a listen to what Nathan Cross had to say of why he chose Racine McGregor and Zali Hopkins as our 2 co-captains heading into this season.
Put a foot wrong and has been leading by example. So this year, Ray's going to have a co-captain, and that is Zali Hopkins.
So yeah, Racine McGregor and Zali Hopkins named as the co-captains. Like the men, 2 co-captains as well. Are you a fan of the co-captains, Youngie? What do you make of that? Of the 2 co-captains for the Dragons?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Seems to work for us in first grade. Although one of our co-captains seems to do a lot more of the media than the other. Yeah, I think it can work.
one of our
Racing
co-captains
is
does more captain's challenges. Maybe the other one should have a go.
I think he needs to put some of them in his back pocket. So they've had some shockers. But, yeah, look, Racing's a clear choice for me. She's been a good player for us over the years, and especially as a game manager. She's definitely a good choice for me.
Big T, I've had many people say that they would have liked to see Tegan the Flash Berry as a co-captain. She's been at the club since she was 18. Made her debut as an 18-year-old. Dragon through and through. Are you surprised she wasn't considered, or she might have been considered?
I think she's just a good. Okay, she's just a good talker on the field. And she talks all the time on the field, if you notice her at the back. I think we'll leave her to do that. Would have been a great idea for giving Tegan Berry the captain or co-captain. But, let her do her thing at the back. Let her play footy. Don't let her worry about organising the team. No, let Racine do that from number 7. And I think Zali probably be our number 9. I'm not sure.
She trialled at 6. So.
Well, we've got Casey Ray for that, haven't we?
Be interesting to see how that one plays out.
She didn't play last week.
What happened down the track, though?
For sure.
Yeah,
Cox plays everywhere. Yeah. Zali plays everywhere, so have them both.
She'll be in the starting 13, being as a co-captain. So.
Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't mean she'll be in the starting 13, being co-captain, but She might be, because you normally have a club captain and a player captain, don't you? And
the player for the
Cookie looks like he's the club captain.
Yeah.
He does all the
media.
media.
Looks like he's the playing captain.
You know what I mean? So
that's exactly right. So one of them will be in front of the screen, the other one will be running the team. So that's how it'll work. But it would have been good to see Tegan Berry get recognition for being captain of the team. But anyway, let us move on.
Yep. Another thing that Paul Youngie touched on earlier, Jamie Soward was on the Buy Round podcast with ex-Dragon James Graham yesterday, I think it was, or over the weekend. Yep. Now, he's still got a bit of taste of how he left the Dragons as a player and a coach. So I'll just bring up some of what there was a quote there that he did say that was stood out. I'll just see if I can bring it up. So let's have a look. Where is it? Okay, where is it? Oh, first of all, I just want to congratulate Ryan Couchman. We didn't highlight it earlier. He's been nominated for the Ken Stephen Medal for his community work. So he's a local junior from the Furrell Butchers, and he's been out for most of the season with that ACL injury. But he's shown outstanding dedication to community and charity work since his debut in 2023. He actively supports grassroots rugby league, school programs, and regional outreach, inspiring young people through genuine engagement and leadership. Even after a season-ending injury, Ryan remains committed by coaching, attending events, and supporting fundraisers. So his involvement is in initiatives like the Best You Can Be program, run by the Dragons. He does that with Keely Brown, and also the NRL Roads to Regions, reflecting his passion for giving back. Rob, that's great to see Ryan Couchman do those things and be recognised off the field and being a great ambassador for our club.
Oh, absolutely, mate. It's a great thing. A young guy as well too, and giving back extra on top of just being a player. So it's something to be really proud of, and hopefully more of the players can be like that. I'm sure they are. Once upon a time, you worked and you play. So these guys, obviously, a lot of them it's just rugby league. So to give back to the community that way, it's a great thing, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Good to see.
I love those twins. Like, they're everything you want in players at your club. Really good clubmen. They play well. Really nice boys. Just the embodiment of everything you'd want at the Dragons.
Yeah, Ryan's been unlucky with injuries, though.
Yeah.
He's missed out a few
good
games.
club players.
But good to see him do that work off the field, and you can go vote for him to win the Ken Stephen Medal as well. Go have a look at the socials and go vote for Ryan Couchman to win the Ken Stephen Medal.
Yeah.
Can you vote more than once?
I think you can. I'm not sure. Go to the NRL.com website and you can go.
I'll vote 10 times.
Yep. Anyway, good to see him doing those good gestures and giving back to the community. Very, very, very good to see. And good to see him having a finalist, and good luck to him. Hopefully he does get that award that's announced at the Dally M's on grand final week. We'll keep going. So, as you said, Jamie Soward, so on James Graham's Buy Round podcast. So this was the quote I did dig out of that. So it has come back. One of the major quotes he said, "I never felt welcome back even after he left. Even when he was coaching, he never felt welcome back. He can say they can say what they want to say. That's how he feels." I did listen to bits of that podcast as well. He did mention that they're having a grand final reunion again this year, and they had to get his contact details through another person. And
that is shit. That is shit.
They wiped his contact details apparently after he left the club. I'm not too sure if that's true or not. After he was sacked as coach last year.
Wow.
Yeah, he was under the impression that they would still have his contact details. I mean, how do you see?
Only a massive part of that grand final win, like one of our best players, probably the best 5'8" we've had, and they don't even have his phone number. Fair dinkum. Dragons board, you are dickheads.
Disgusting.
We know that already.
Fucking hell.
What would you expect from the Dragons?
Somebody needs to be slapped. That is just like I kind of felt that. Where do I even start? Well,
it's proof of the pudding.
He's a massive part of our history.
Dragons Club is so poorly run.
As both player and coach.
Yeah, you look at the highlight reel from 2010, and he was in everything. And you don't even have his phone number for the reunion. Fuck's sake.
Daz, you're from Melbourne, right? And the Melbourne Storm, Frank Panisi. I mean, mate, that shit wouldn't happen down in the Melbourne Storm. It's such low life.
Well, even if you got a grudge with him or something happened, they had to be better organised than that. That says a lot about where we are as a club, and it starts at the board level.
100%, mate.
Front office.
Fucking Jesus.
Didn't Gus do that review that he did, and he said from the top?
Yeah, and they didn't want him. Yeah, they didn't want Gus.
Yeah,
they got massive problems. You can see that as a fan, like even as an outsider looking in.
No, you know who didn't want Gus. I'm not going to say his name. He didn't want Gus to change his club. We know who we're talking about.
Do we?
Not has been. No.
Mr. Crown Lagers.
Yeah,
that's him.
I think so. Yeah.
Was he on the board at that stage? I don't know if he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just.
He's been on the board for a long time.
Well, answer that phone.
Long time.
How do you remember though Sowie's time at the Dragons, Rob? Obviously as a player and a coach. Obviously disappointed he was sacked last year as well, and he didn't leave the club as a player on good terms either. When Steve Price dropped into New South Wales a couple of those years ago.
Legend, up there as a legend. As Des said, one of our best 5'8". I mean, I like Chalk, back in the St George days. I mean, you go back to years before that as well too. But I mean, I remember games. Des, I think at the Roosters, Anzac Day, kicked a goal from the sideline for us to win a game.
Yep.
You just don't. I mean, we could do Jamie Soward right now in the halves, couldn't we? Right now.
An informed Jamie Soward, you'd take him any day of the week.
I'm Jamie Soward.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit, he was that good. Yep.
I'd take Penrith Jamie Soward right now.
It's just so poor the way some of our top player legends.
Cooper.
about.
Well, mate, I was just about to say, Matty Cooper's copped at Raw as well. Another one of our legends. So what are they doing?
I don't understand it, Jesse. And to answer that one as well too, with Daz, with Matt Cooper and Jamie Soward and the way he's been treated. I know the Sharkies, Andrew Eddinghausen, right? He gets invited back to go and help, to go and talk to the team, inspire the team, talk to the back line, club legend. What are we doing? We don't even get our club legends to go back in and talk to the players or whatever.
They should go in there and tell them what it means to play for this club.
Oh, 100%, mate. I mean, and Gordon Tallis said that. Gordon Tallis was saying about how, Dragons, they don't do that. That's part of the problem. It's our culture, right, Darren? We just don't seem to have that.
Well, the way I see it, we're arrogant. We've won one premiership since we became a merged entity, and we're living in the past too much. Yeah, we need to put our feet on the ground. Honestly, if you can't be living in the past forever, we got to start looking forward, and respecting players who did win a premiership in our history is a big start.
Big team.
You've got to remember the past. You've got to forget it. Like, you got to remember the past.
Yeah.
You got to remember the past.
But how are you building a family culture when you treat your players like that?
No.
We have to be one club. We can't be St. George Illawarra anymore. See you later.
Just
We've
on
got
that,
to be one club.
Well, that's the problem, Big T. That's the problem.
I heard the same exact thing. I was listening to. I don't know if you listen to Vossi and Brandy in the mornings, Rob. They had the ex-Tigers chairman on there this morning. The Tigers are exactly the same. They have Wests and Balmain. They're split. They can't decide. Their reserve grade team still called the West Magpies.
Yeah. No, I think it's a massive problem. We got a divided board. We got half St George, half Illawarra. We got the likes of Peter Douse on there, who he's still just. It's just how he's still on the board is beyond me. I mean, he's had his time.
We've got
It's like one of these prime ministers of Australia who's a multi-millionaire that wants to be a prime minister. We don't want to be a millionaire. What are you doing for notoriety or whatever? The same thing with Douse. I mean, get out. Let someone else have a turn.
This is no time to be arrogant. We've won one premiership.
Yeah.
One.
No, it's no final since 2018 either.
That's right.
It's deplorable what's happening.
Just on
and also we've had multiple coaches, we've had multiple players
since Bennett left.
The only thing that stayed static.
Yeah. Even Bennett didn't want us. Yeah. Well, they offered Bennett a contract and he didn't want it. So what does that tell you?
The Crown Lager one.
We got rid of the mascot
the Crown
as well.
Lager one. When Bennett was offered a contract, Bennett said, "I'll come. Give me 5 years." Douse only gave him 3.
Yep.
He said, "I'll do 5 years for you." No, I'll only give you 3.
Crazy. Should have kept him for 10.
Yeah.
And just on that, Big T, Jamie said, what did you? We know he was the coach for the Dragons NRLW side too as well for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
How do you think he'll remembered as his coaching year? A lot of people remember him for he got rookie coach of the year in his first season.
If you had to give me a bit of heads up, I would have gone back and then look how many games he won over those 4 years. Took him to a grand final in the first year, correct?
Yep, coach of the year.
Was that off the back? Was that off the back of the year before's coach? You know what I mean? Like people go in and they've still got.
But there's a difference. Like they possibly needed a change for the girls. Yeah, they were probably due for a change. But respecting him as a former player is a whole different thing.
Exactly right.
It's a lot left.
Jamie, I have very fond memories of Jamie Soward, so he doesn't need to worry about that. But I just think the club, the fans certainly remember him as one of our greats. I think we all do, but
well, if you sum up him as a player and coach in one word, how would you say?
Board is a disgrace.
All 3 of you. So, Rob, how do you sum up Soward as a player and a coach?
Oh, mate, look, I think personally, from what I know a little bit about Soward as a coach, he's a very passionate guy. Put a lot of hours into it, a lot of dedication into it. Got on with the girls very, very well, apparently.
Love the Dragons.
Maybe got too close to the girls. I don't know. But he did a good job. I mean, four seasons. Good on him. Because obviously we know the 2 years sometimes coaches only last for. But as a player, I mean, we just said it, legend, club legend. He's a club legend.
The saddest thing I heard Jamie Scout say after he got sacked from the Dragons spot, how do I tell my girls that they can't go to training anymore?
Yeah.
I know it's not a Dragons problem.
He loved them, yeah.
It's not a Dragons problem. How can he tell his girls, his little girls, like his daughters, they can't go to training anymore because they must have been at training all the time with him.
Yeah,
getting around that culture, getting around the girls that were playing, it would have been great. But
and
sometimes let's give Crossy all our backing.
Sometimes their ex-players get a hard time. I mean, Paul McGregor, Brian Johnson was a former CEO. But let me tell you, I know Brian Johnson pretty well, mate. He put his heart and soul into being a CEO of the Dragons, you know what I mean? And all these guys were club legends of the club. So they care about St. George, about the Dragons, George Illawarra, the Dragons. First and first. You know what I mean? So I think it's disgusting, disgraceful what has been done to Sowie with it's just so wrong. On so many
I agree. I'm disgusted.
Just referring to the conversation I was talking about today, Lee Hadjipentelis, the ex-Tigers chairman, because the chairman doesn't get any say at their club. He's just a figurehead.
Yeah. How much say does our chairman get?
All of it, doesn't he?
I'm not sure.
It's just so dumb. Like, even though I know we've got, obviously it's the merged team at St. George and Illawarra, but you guys know I'm a Cogra guy, right? Jesse, you've been to rugby league. You see the seats I got, right? You can't get that. They're hard seats to get, right? You know what I mean? Like, right, close to the 50 and all that. I'm not talking myself up or whatever, but I'm prepared to say, let's play it out. I'll let my give up my seats as much as I love going to the football with my son or a mate like Jess. I'll give up my seats to play out of one ground. We've got the Centre of Excellence being built down at Wollongong Uni. How dumb are we? Play out of one field, pack that field out every game.
I said that 3 years ago, Rob. I said it on this podcast 3 years ago. Exact same thing.
Wollongong's our future.
Wollongong's our future.
I mean,
I agree.
I love Cogra. I'm a Cogra boy like you, Rob.
Same as you. Yeah, I'm the same as you, Big T. I love Cogra too, but Wollongong is our future. That's where the Centre of Excellence has got to be. I think we're just going to have to make it because, as you say, West have got the same problem, and it clearly doesn't work.
I mean, I went to, even Jesse, sorry, I know, mate. This is going off topic a little bit, but my wife's a Shark supporter, right? I went through all that. I mean, it's called Animal Park to me, right? When you go watch a footy there, but she had season seats, so I go and watch the footy. And mate, on a Saturday night at Shark Park, for years they're unbeatable. It was 5:30 or 7:30 game like it is now, right? St. George could make Wynn Stadium a fortress. Play there at 5:30 and 7:30, right, on a Saturday. Get your biggest crowd, and mate, honestly.
We're lucky to get 10,000 there now, both venues, really.
Yeah, but if you play out of one, I reckon people would train themselves from the St. George area that if they really want to go, they'll go. You know what I mean? As long as it's not a Thursday night or whatever, or Friday night. I mean, I know you're going to get some games like that, but if you're playing every game out of one venue, I think there's a lot of merit in it moving forward, especially if you want to be a top 4 team one day again.
Friday night at Wollongong's hard if you're a Cogra fan or you live in the area to go down
especially
to Wollongong on a Friday night.
Yeah,
that's their problem. You might do it Sunday,
or Saturday,
yeah.
But Thursday or Friday night, no,
yeah, screwed. Can't happen.
Well, we had the last game we had at Wynn. We had a Friday night game there. There was only 8,000 people there. The 6 o'clock game, and people coming from work, they can't get there.
It's tough to get there.
So anyway, we'll get into the other news and rumours. Selwyn Cobbo flew down from Brisbane to Sydney to talk to the Dragons. On the outer of the
betting he goes.
Broncos. Yeah, Rob, I know you're keen to sign him.
I'd be
Would he be a
stunned.
good fit for us? Has played for
absolutely.
Queensland and Australia.
Absolutely. I mean, mate, he's a tall guy, fast, good in the high ball, can play fullback, wing, centre, versatile. Just turned 23 in June the 5th or 6th or whatever it was. So
Yeah.
just 22, just turning 23. Queenslander, like Big T saying. And
you doing the big eyes up, Big T? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's what Leighton Hewitt used to do, remember? Queenslander!
I know where that started. I'm
sure it was Leighton Hewitt, wasn't it?
No.
Wasn't it?
I'll tell if you want to hear the story. So I used to work at
The quick one.
I'll be very quick. I used to work at South Rugby Union Club in Brisbane, right? And it started there. It was a South Rugby Union thing.
Well, there you go.
And then it became, and those guys all became Australian rugby players. And you would have seen Tim Horan and Jason Little doing this in the day. What that is eyes up off my cock. That's what it actually means. And Leighton Hewitt's doing this. When I used to work in the bar up there, everyone would laugh when they saw him doing it because nobody knew what it meant. But that's a true story. That's where it started. Yeah,
you can look at mine if you want.
Yeah, eyes up,
you can look at mine if you want.
Cock. That's what it means.
Too funny.
True story.
That's real funny.
Anyway, continuing on with the Selwyn Cobbo thing, Flano has said he doesn't want to, well, he's reportedly said that he doesn't want to get in a bidding war with the Cowboys, who are also interested in him. But reports come in this afternoon that the Dragons don't want to, they're balking at the 650 to 750K price that Cobbo is asking for. Being the Cowboys in Queensland, that he could end up there, but he apparently he was asking for $1 million previously, Big T, but that was before he was dropped to Queensland Cup.
Yeah, I think
There's
he's a
no doubt he's
550
talented,
player.
but it's a risk of a signing. He's not. He doesn't look like he suits the style that Michael Maguire has the Broncos playing.
Well, they've got Drinkwater, and he wants to play fullback, so
he's got Drinkwater in front of him.
Yeah.
If he comes to Dragons, they can tell him 1 year. Well, for 1 year, you play on the wing or in the centres.
He won't come for 1 year.
Well,
No, he'll come for 2 or 3 years.
It's to have him for the rest of this year and next year. That's their plan.
Because I heard he's on his way to Perth. That's my mail. My mail is he wants a 2-year contract because he's going to Perth in 2027.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Well,
Melbourne are going to take him.
It doesn't look like he'll be at the Broncos next year because they've just re-signed the bloke that's taken his spot for another 2 years, Josiah Karapani, and they've also just signed the Melbourne winger, Grant Anderson, who's been doing a good job in the absence of Will Warbrick. So
we believe what they're saying. They only got 300,000 left in the cap. That's all they got.
Well, they've just signed Adam Reynolds again as well. So and he had to take a bit of a pay cut to stay.
Ben Hunt.
He's back this week too, Ben Hunt.
So, is Mam out or whatever? I haven't had a look at the other teams.
Anyway, we'll discuss that in a little bit.
How good's Kurt Mann going at Canterbury?
Watch that space. Dragons do want him by June 30, but the Broncos are not willing to release him just yet, but we'll see how that plays out.
Just on that, who we're still trying to fit another player in before June 30.
We've got 2 spots up for grabs because
so Sloan goes.
One of the Dolphins, and then
what's that?
Eisner retired.
Okay, I didn't hear any of this, Downey. I was wondering who was going to fill those spots.
Upgrade Cody Ramsey for the rest of the year.
Yeah, sure. He's got to be getting close for next year, isn't he?
Who knows?
Will they do it this year?
Who knows?
They can't do it this year, no.
Yeah.
They might have another son who plays on the wing somewhere.
Oh, nepotism again. Freaking hell.
And then this afternoon, wasn't actually Flano that told Tyrell Sloan he's free to go. who's actually the new CEO, Tim Watford, has
really?
told Sloan he's free to go. If he can get a rival club, he's contracted with us to the end of next year. He's on reportedly 500 grand a season. Do you see him picking up another club, Rob? And that's a big call from the new CEO.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, something's
many
happened. Plane didn't have the decency to do it himself. I mean, whether the coach is meant to or a combination of the CEO, but I would have thought Flano would have had a discussion with him. But feel sorry for Sloan there. But yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. I know
they've given him plenty of rope though over the years. They've given him plenty of time.
Chances.
Yeah. So I see there's a possibility for him to get picked up by another club in Sydney, but yeah, he's a lot of hard work, isn't he, defensively and then under the high ball and stuff like that. And I know Donny's pulled out stats defensively that he's not as bad as what we think he is, but those defensive misses that he does miss are bloody horrific. But in saying that, obviously there's Super League, I think, as well too. He'd kill it in Super League. I just thought the Sharks might be somewhere where he might end up going. I
think he needs South. I think he needs Wayne Bennett at South.
Bennett, yeah. But obviously then you got Latrell, you got Joe Gray.
He's got his old mate Bud.
At fullback. So, but yeah, I mean, Bennett obviously can pull the best out of a player, like Bellamy does. So good.
If I'm Tyrell Sloan, I'm going to South.
Melbourne have lost Anderson, haven't they?
Bellamy's another one that could get the best out of him.
Yeah, both those coaches are fantastic. But look at Bud, he's improved.
Cleary as well.
So yeah, interesting times ahead. But obviously, it's come from the big job from the CEO. Sloan's gone.
I feel sorry for him in a way, but geez, we've given him a lot of shots. He's had so many opportunities.
I feel sorry for Coco.
In and out of first grade. Yeah,
Coco's going to be devastated. Coco loves him. Coco wants to have his babies. Oh my God, she loves him.
Devastated when we lost Bud.
I think Sloaney will play in England himself. Send him to England. He'll kill it in England.
You don't think any other?
He'll be the best player in England.
Any other club will pick him up here, Big T? No other.
He's
NRL club?
very close to his
I think he's going
grandmother.
to go to England and get more experience. His grandmother's passed away, unfortunately, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I reckon he should go. I reckon he should go to England.
Well,
I think she has.
Ian Johnson's just said Souths want to keep Bud beyond this year as well.
Bennett wants to extend him with Souths, take him over from the Tigers deal. So yeah, it's a good news for Bud.
The games I've seen him play, Bud's been good.
He's doing a job for him, yeah.
That's a question we should look at.
Another one. What type of reception will Lomax get on the return to Wynn Stadium? This question popped up about 5 times.
We can answer that when we do our
shit one. He's gonna cop it.
He's gonna feel it hard, I think. He's gonna feel it hard.
He knows it's coming. He's already said it. It's
gonna be hard and unlubed.
He knows what's coming. He
but you think you're a sinner.
He doesn't mind now. He doesn't mind it.
He's a winger every day of the week.
Well, did you see that guy on? I can't think what his name was. He was saying, "Sloan, the Dragons beat you this time around. You've got to come back to the Dragons. Come back and play for the Dragons. Don't care where you play." Did you see that one?
Here's what he said. They asked him, what reception do you think you'll get at Wynn Stadium? Here's what he said. Oh, what do you think? I'm sure it will be weird. I'm sure I won't get a nice, real reception there, but that's the way it goes.
There you go. He knows what's going to happen.
And just quickly, we didn't highlight it before, but Big T, Jack DeBellin brings up a milestone, not a game milestone, but you can tell us what it is with Jack DeBellin.
He becomes equal second Dragons top player. Like played so many games. He comes up now next to Matt Cooper.
And he spent so much time out with a case too.
240.
200 games. 243 games, but he's got plenty more if he wants to catch Ben Hornby, who's on 280 or something. So,
when are they going to bring back Matt Cooper as a defensive coach? Surely that's good.
Yeah,
he'd be a great defensive coach.
All right.
That's what Sharks do with ET, Des.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into our tips for the round. You're on the Mad Dragons podcast, sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions. It kicks off on Thursday night. We'll start with you, Youngie. So it's the Panthers. They've found their form last Saturday. No one would have
on a roll now.
Their 5 Origin players out to go to New Zealand to beat the top 4 in-form Warriors without their star players. How good's that?
Yep, finishing with a wet sail. So I'm predicting them to go on with it now. Come home with a wet sail, and
they're all back this week.
Yeah, I'd pretty much lock them in to make the finals. Just my thoughts.
And do you think they take down the Dogs on Thursday night?
Oh. Dogs are flying.
Dogs are due for a loss, though.
They get all the Origin stars back.
Yes, so Max King, Stephen Crichton, Matt Burton,
Kurt Mann,
and Galvin's still off the bench as well.
Yep. I haven't seen him play yet, Danny. Is he?
I think we should throw money at Sexton, by the way.
What's that?
Throw money at Sexton, by the way.
Well, has that disjointed their season or what?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, Reid Marnie was filthy the first game he played because Sexton went to hooker and Marnie got hooked.
He did.
Your tip on that, Rob? Who do you like in that one, Penrith or the Bulldogs?
Oh, look, I agree with Daz. The Bulldogs are due for something to go wrong, but I don't know. It's so uncanny. I mean, Penrith beat bloody well the Warriors and the Warriors. With they're probably like their cup team. So anything can happen, mate. But
if the Dogs win the comp, I'm getting off social media. I don't think it can handle it.
I couldn't handle it. Oh,
I'll be me.
So many Dogs friends.
Because this is just a Steve Alley, and I'll say Penrith.
Big T, you going with that? But you think Penrith continue their climb up the ladder?
Yeah. I think the Penny Panthers can do it. Although they've got to get used to playing not at Penrith Park. That was their problem in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
They were losing games at Parramatta Stadium because it's not their home ground.
Yeah.
So,
it's got to be a tough ask.
It has to be a tough ask, doesn't it?
Mm.
They made Penrith a fortress for a long time.
Have they bulldozed that ground yet? Where are they at with that?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Haven't heard anything.
They had a comeback. I think they'll get it done. Yeah.
Well, they just beat Warriors, so it was a good win.
You'd think the Dogs would win, but I'd like to see Penrith win.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Panthers in a close one.
Yeah.
Nathan Cleary, there's concern over him, though, the way he played in Origin, struggled with that leg injury. So, interesting to see how he goes.
Yeah. If he's not fit, I can't see it.
The early kickoff on Friday, a team that has been under plenty of pressure lately. It's Manly. They've named Lehigh Hopewadi at fullback, pushing Tommy Turbo to centres, which sees Jason Saab dropped, and Ruben Garrett goes to the wing as well.
Wow.
Matt Lodge comes into the front row, as does Corey Waddell, with Hamali Olakau'atu out for 6 weeks with a dislocated shoulder, which sees Toff Sipley come onto the bench. And Lachlan Croker has been dropped. Jazz Tavanga will start at 9 for Manly. For the Tigers, Jareen Bullitt out for a month. I forget what. I think it's a hamstring injury. I think. So Heath Mason goes to fullback. Latu Fainu, who looked good against the Raiders last week, he comes into halfback, which sees Luai move to 5'8". Jack Bird will start in the back row with Alex Seyfarth back to the bench, and Tony Sukkar comes onto the bench for the Tigers. We'll start with you, Big T. It's at Brookie, the early game on Friday night.
It is. Brookie's a pretty good place to get to it, but at any time. I don't know about Manly because ever
Pulling
since
their heat.
Cherry Evans said I'm leaving, the club's just imploded.
Seabold's are now under pressure to keep his job.
Oh, for sure. Like there's a few coaches under pressure to keep their job at the moment. But having the competition so close as well, it's so packed tight, so exciting. But at Brookvale, I think Manly will do it, but I'm not convinced.
Yep. They're both in bad form. The Tigers they've improved this year. There's no denying that, Rob. They've
Took
lost
good in patches last week.
They've been competitive, and do you give the Tigers a chance in this one?
Well, only that Manly have been so bloody well poor. They're just ever since Cherry Evans, basically who's going to leave and all this sort of stuff, they've just fallen off the face of the planet. And I don't know whether it's the coach with the players, like the coach there's problems with Seabolt. I don't know, but he's swung the axe, obviously, hasn't he? There's a few players being dropped, obviously changing positions or whatever. So I don't know. Normally I would say Manly for sure, but Tigers, I mean, they're a chance. But it's a toss of the coin, really, isn't it? I don't know.
If it was at Campbelltown, I'd be pretty confident about Tigers. But given it's a Brookie, hey?
They don't win at Campbelltown. It's got to be at Leichhardt.
Oh, well,
they were so close to winning last Friday, though, BT. They were so close.
But that's like they've won one game or two games in the last 20 at Campbelltown.
Yeah.
They went for a streak there, 8 or 9 straight. They lost.
Yeah. And against Manly,
I think a Brookie.
It'd be at Leichhardt if it was a home game for sure. So I agree with that.
But Brookie Oval. It's got to be
Got your dog there, Youngie. I see in the background.
Yeah, it's Happy the Labrador.
I think I'm going to go. I think I'll reserve my tip for this one. I'll have to look into it closer. Leaning towards the Tigers.
I'm tipping an upset. I'm tipping the Tigers.
I think the Tigers
even
have
at Brookie.
been disappointing.
Yeah.
We got Rory McDonald says Tigers. Tony says Manly. Ian says Manly.
The other game on Friday night. It's the Beanie for Brain Cancer game at McDonald Jones Stadium. I'm sure Mark Hughes will be there in attendance. They've got a special walk as well. There is one person up from Newcastle. He's actually doing a run from Amy Park in Melbourne to McDonald Jones Stadium. So well done to him. Good luck with that one.
He's going to be running right past me up the Hume Highway then.
So that they are playing on Friday night.
That's the best view of Melbourne, that one.
Yeah.
So they're coming off a win over the Dolphins over in Perth.
In your rearview mirror as you're driving out.
So
I live just along the Hume, not far.
They're taking on the in-form Canberra Raiders. So the Knights, Jackson Hastings comes in for a shocking injury for Fletcher Sharp. So he's still stuck in a Perth hospital. So he's ruptured his spleen and his kidney. So his season may well and truly be over. And you never hear of that injury very often. Jacob Saifidi does return for them.
Good old Rick Disney. Remember the 12th man?
Yeah, that was
ruptured my spleen.
And the Raiders, they've rested Hudson Young. He's got some groin issues. He's had that for a number of weeks, but playing through that. Simi Sasangi will start in the back row. Noah Martin comes onto the bench. And Jed Stewart retains his spot after scoring on debut. Youngie.
All right, Big T. You thought about the 12th man and lost it. Yeah, Rick Disney. What a classic.
Jesse, old enough to remember there was another funny guy.
I'm just talking to you, please.
Greg Ritchie. Remember he played for
my God.
You remember Greg Ritchie as Mahatma Coat?
Yeah.
Mate.
Good old days.
What a champion. I'm going for Canberra anyway.
You like the Raiders in this one, Youngie? The Raiders, they just keep
even
going.
Still, Raiders are just going too well. I'm even tipping them to win the whole thing.
I would love to see that.
Big call.
Yeah, I think they're going to.
And Jesse, have they had any buys yet? Or are they still owing their buys?
They've had one buy.
One buy. They got 2 buys left. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I'm tipping they won a premiership. I think they'll jump the Dogs.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yep, I'm going to go the Raiders. Even though it is in Newcastle, I still think the Raiders will be too strong. You agree with that one, Rob?
Oh, 100%, mate. I mean, and that young boy up to be lost to Newcastle, but they're nothing to write home about Newcastle. I mean, you know, we saw the game. They're poor Newcastle. They're not. You know what I mean? Anything
Good
to
win
really
against the Dolphins though last weekend.
That was massive. I was stunned they beat the Dolphins because the Dolphins have been going well too.
Yeah, I don't get that. Donnie Bell's right. There's been some weird stuff happen with rugby league this year. Very mixed results. You know, you can get one team who can thrash a team one week and then get thrashed themselves the next week. I can't work that one out.
Well, the Dolphins have been belting everyone, so I thought they were well on their way.
Yeah.
Yes, Big T.
I think we're seeing a lot of blowout scores because if you remember back 5 or 6 years ago, you had the Toyota Cup, and those scores were 44 to 40, 46, and
no defense.
Such high scores. So those players are coming through now, and we're seeing these high scores that everybody can beat everybody on their day.
Yep.
And I think also too, once you get you score a few tries and then you get the momentum and you get these 6 to go. So 6 to go, 6 to go, 6 to go. It takes the stuff out of the team. You know, I mean, how much can you tackle? You know, and it just even that you might do 3 lots of sets or 4 sets in a row of tackling, and that can stuff you up for the whole game.
All right, we'll move on to the next game, which is the 3 p.m. game on Saturday. Youngie's absolute favourite team, the Brisbane Broncos, up against the who've had 2 wins in a row. But the Warriors very disappointing against the understrength Panthers last week. They do welcome back Kurt Catewell though, which sees Tanner Stow-Smith drop out of the 17, and Rocco Berry comes back into the centres for the Wars. Ben Hunt was reportedly going to return this week, but he's probably still not right. He's still not named in the extended team for this game.
Right,
this is the 3 o'clock game in Brisbane on Saturday, Youngie. So the Warriors bounce back, or the Broncos make it 3 in a row.
Well, the Wars could have most of their players suffering from leprosy, and I'll still tip them over the Broncos. So, yeah, up the Wars, go the Wars. I'm going to tip the Wars. Tipping the Broncos.
Suncorp Stadium. Broncos are playing well at Suncorp. Leaning a little bit towards the Wars.
They get good support up there, the Warriors too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they were the most supported team at Magic Round.
Get almost as many supporters as the Broncos. Yeah.
They will turn up in numbers, their fans.
I think I'll go the Wars too. I think they'll bounce back.
I'm here as well too. I think they'll bounce back. I'm still not really overly impressed with Brisbane at the moment. Some of those tries they just went through the middle so easily. You know what I mean? Cronulla.
Reece Walsh is back though.
And I thought Cronulla were poor as well too. I mean, Nico Hines had a shocker. So, you know, I don't know if the win was really as good as what, you know what I mean? So I think the Warriors will, definitely will bounce back.
The next game is ours, so that'll be the last game we look at. But this game is also at Suncorp, but it's a 7:50 game on Saturday night. It's the Finns taking on the Rabbitohs. So this game was meant to be played in round 1, but due to the cyclone, they swapped home games, and this game was played at Combank. And they've swapped. So the Dolphins are now hosting this game at Suncorp. The Dolphins have made some changes. Jack Bostock, unfortunately, a tragic injury for him. Done his ACL in that game against Perth, in Perth. Out for the season. So Junior Tupou, the ex-Tigers winger, comes onto the wing for him. Frankie Molo, he's been good since going to the Dolphins. For the Bunnies, Alex Johnson, he has that Ken Irvine record insight, only 6 tries away from equaling the great man's record. They do welcome back Cody Walker in the halves, the skipper. Campbell Graham as well returns in the centres, which sees Jack White pushed out to the centres as well. Sean Keppie will start in the front row. Jai Arrow moves back to lock. Lachlan Hubner goes back to the bench. And Peter Mamazelos, their dummy half, is back into the team. on the bench as well, which sees Ryan Gray drop to the extended bench.
Is Bud in the reserves?
Bud's injured.
Is he? I thought he was in the reserves. Just in the reserves.
Oh, wait, no, he is. He's back, yes. Whether he plays or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're a big Finns fan, Youngie. I'll start with you for this one. Did they bounce back?
Yeah, I think they got it. They've been in good form. Just had a shock last week. So yeah. Even like the Finns have got a lot of missing players at the moment as well, and it really hasn't affected them too much. So except for last week, they've been putting 30, 40 points on just about anyone they played. So Christian Wolf, I think, is the coach, got them playing in the right direction, going well. So I think
as well too.
Yeah, they're going well. I think the Finns will make the finals.
You think they bounce back and beat South this week?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they'll finish well.
And it was just a glitch in the matrix last week. Just one of those games that they didn't come out and play well, and they got beat. It happens. They'll come back. They'll bounce back. They'll beat the Bunnies.
They don't like a wet ground.
Even though their old coach as well, they want to show their wares against their old coach. So yeah,
Rob.
Yeah, I'm Kings as well too, and I something's telling me with Cody Walker, he's off this year as well too. He's so injury prone or whatever. So I don't think that's a good thing for South, him being back in the team. To be honest, at the moment, I think he's not playing his best footy. Even though Souths have been good and certainly got a lot of fight. If you were the Dolphins, I mean, we were terrible against them, but they absolutely smashed us. I mean, the way they can score points is quite incredible. So,
big part of that is Katoa too. Like, he is just a gun halfback.
He's been the captain as well.
Freak. Hey?
Well,
he's the captain.
Yeah. Incredible. Andrew Johns made the statement. So it's not some journo or some ex-player talking about Andrew Johns. Andrew Johns actually said, I think this boy can become as good as what I was. And Andrew Johns wasn't boasting about himself. He's an immortal. He says, I think he can become one of the best halfbacks ever in the game. So that's a big
I'd agree with that.
So, I mean, he's 19.
Hopefully Cleary needs to look over his shoulder.
He's 21, Rob.
21, sorry. So, apologies. So, I mean, mate, having him in your team, running the team around the way he does, and he's a bloody good game manager.
Yeah.
And
Cody Nicarima is a really good fall for him too.
Yeah. Experience with the youth. So he knows when to chime in. They've done well, haven't they, with that halves combination? So
very underrated.
Yeah.
Bostock is a big loss for him though. He knows how to find that try line.
He's good on the high ball too, isn't he? Incredible.
Very tall.
What is he? He's like 7 foot tall, something like that. Something ridiculous.
Very close to it, if not.
Yeah, he's a giant.
Oh,
the next game is down your way on Sunday afternoon, Youngie. The 2 p.m. game. It's the Melbourne Storm up against the out of sorts Sharks. So Jack Houff drops out of the Melbourne team. I'm not sure what's happened there with him. I'll get that info there. But Trent Liera and Stefano Utoikamanu will start after coming off the bench in their Golden Point win over Souths. The Sharks, they do welcome back Oregon Kafusi into the front row, which pushes Braden Hamlin-Ueli back to the bench. And that's their only change.
They got no record down here, the Sharks, I don't think.
They got a good record down there. Actually, they won their last couple of years.
Didn't know that.
The Storm, that Bellamy wasn't impressed with that win. They had a big lead, and they nearly lost to Big T against South.
Yeah, that happens. Again, like I said before, sometimes you're on your game, sometimes you're off your game, and a call goes against you, and you can't get back from that. The Dragons seem to do it all the time. A call goes against them, and they put their heads down. So the Storm might have been like that last week. But yeah, I can't see the Sharkies aren't. Mate, Storm.
It's cold, it's wet, it's miserable down here. If you're a Sharks player, you're just not going to want to be here.
It'll be a draw. It's a Sunday afternoon game though, Young. It should be warm down there on Sunday afternoon. Would you say?
It doesn't matter. it's
4 seasons in one day.
Freaking 4 degrees, cold and raining all week. So
Harry Grant summed it up best. Harry Grant says, "I don't want to go back in the change room. I want to stay out on the field." Bellamy, like you said, Jesse, rip our heads off. And he said, "We'll be much better next week. Don't worry, because we'll be too scared not to be that much better."
Yeah.
So
would have got a basting.
I think Hines is on some sort of spiral. He's got something wrong with him. His football's terrible at the moment. So playing against his ex-old team, I don't think it's going to inspire him. I think he's going to get worse, not better.
Yeah. Wasn't his mother in trouble or something? I wonder if that's got anything to do with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
when the going gets tough, though, he doesn't get down and dirty.
No,
that's right. Corolla got pros and cons with
for the
Nico.
last 3 or 4 years.
Pros and
Last
cons
3 or
with
4
Nico.
years.
It's always miserable. I tell you what, though, Melbourne in summer, like July, February, I don't think there's anywhere better in Australia.
It's warmer than
Honestly,
here.
it is spot on. It's like 24 degrees, sunny. You guys come down here in like January and then talk to me about it's always miserable. It's
Look at the
awesome.
tennis down there. It's get to 45 degrees down there sometimes.
Yeah, but it's a dry heat. Like it's not like in Brisbane or Cairns, very damp,
wet,
sort of.
And
moist.
It's really good.
Are we all going
Moist.
storm in this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
And the final game of the round, it's pretty much the embarrassing cup, you'd have to say. These two sides, the Titans and the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys are considered pretty close to 150 points in their last couple of games. Don't quote me on that, but it's over 100. The Titans just don't know how to defend. They're both under immense pressure. Who's going to be more desperate? Jaden Campbell failed HIA. He's out, so Tom Weaver comes in at halfback. Tino Fasua-Mala'awa, your boy Big T, he comes back in a lock. And Isaac is also still in.
What about Mo Fodawaker? Is he back?
Yes, he played the other night. He was back off. He played off the bench, but he's back in the starting row. And Cleese Haas
with
off
Mo.
the bench. For the Cowboys, they do welcome back Reece Robson and Ruben Cotter, who were arrested in their thumping of the Roosters. And Thomas McHaley comes onto the bench. They have that switch, though. Jackson Purdue, the experiment of him at 5 is now over. Jake Clifford gets a recall in the halves. Jackson Purdue goes back to centre. It's the desperation cup. Who wins this one, Youngie?
I've got the Cows. I think the Cows will win. I don't know what's going on at the Gold Coast. A couple of years ago, they were looking really good, weren't they?
Maybe Justin Holbrook wasn't the problem.
Well, I always rated Justin Holbrook as a coach. He always had a winning culture. Justin Holbrook, he was with us years ago. I think
He was,
coached our under
He's a
21.
Dapper
And
boy,
he had a winning culture wherever he went. Even when he was overseas in England, he did really well.
Yeah.
And then just had him going good for a while, and then lost his job and haven't been seen since. So
Poor
I don't
Desi
know
doesn't
whether
know what he's doing.
Des is the opposite. Doesn't have a winning culture, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Just not got him ticking over.
Has it passed his time?
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm thinking.
Well, the last two teams Des was at Canterbury and Manly. They both went downhill when he was at the helm.
Yeah, well, he back ended the salary cap, got them to a grand final. They didn't win it, and from there they just had a clean
He's
out.
ruined the Dogs. He ruined the Dogs.
Yeah, they haven't recovered. Only this year. It's been that long since I've been able to get it together again. So, those are off the drugs. What?
Not sure. I'm not sure.
You reckon the Titans? Freaking hell.
Yeah.
No, actually, I think
couldn't tip any team with a confidence in this game.
a
Both
toss-up.
teams are terrible at the moment.
But Reece Robson.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're both bad, so I'm just tipping the Cows for that reason. That I think they're going to be slightly better than the Titans.
Yeah, they're both bad.
Yeah.
They're two big ins, though. Reece
Well,
Robson.
if you look back, the Cowboys are 2 points out of the 8.
That's right. They've got everything to play for. I don't think the Titans are going to get anywhere near it.
Well, do you think? And Desi Hasler has a clause in his contract. If the Titans don't play finals football this year, he's gone. They can get rid of him.
Yeah,
they can.
He's gone.
I think they should be looking at it right now.
Yeah, I reckon they should be looking for another coach. It's not working out, and they were in a good position a couple of years ago.
They've got some good players, mate. They need a Bellamy or something like that to come in and fix it up.
It's kind of hard though now. Well, I mean, with the Papua New Guinea team coming, and you've got the Perth Bears coming. Like, if you're a recruitment manager trying to find players at the moment, it's got to be tough.
It's going to be a worry. Yeah,
Shout out to our friend of the show, too, Blaze. I know he's a passionate Titans fan.
Yeah. Can't be happy. But anyway,
Can't be.
Sticking through.
Let's go to our game.
If we were in the same boat, I'm sure we'd be sticking him through them thick and thin. But I'll go the Titans, but no, absolutely no confidence. Do you like that too, Rob? Who do you like in that one, Rob?
Oh, Cowboys, man. I mean, Reece Robson to me and Cotter coming back into that team are big ins for them. And yeah, Titans have just been just too ordinary. I mean, they got some great. I love Tino. I think Tino. Mate, I'd take Tino any day of the week at the Dragons.
Yeah, tries his heart out every week.
Yeah, I mean, what an inspiring player. I mean, watch a documentary on him. You just got to watch that documentary to see what he's like. But yeah, mate, I think Cowboys with those two boys coming back in, Robson and Cotter, they're big ins. They'll be too strong.
Yep.
But we'll get into the big game we need to win. That's on Saturday night, the 5:30 game at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. The Dragons up against Parramatta. First of all, on that, Guffo has highlighted that Flanagan, the player, is under pressure. Got into a bit of strife over that from his coach. What do we make
Say
of
that again? What did I miss?
So Guffo has said Kyle Flanagan's under pressure to keep his spot. He's been impressed with Lachlan Lewis's form in New South Wales Cup.
Apparently,
Flanagan is blind. Is he not seeing what we're seeing every freaking week? I mean, I don't want to knock him, but Jesus, everyone else can see it. Of course, he's under pressure. Am I the only one who thinks so?
No, he's under pressure for sure.
I think Guffo is spot on.
He's doing a lot of good things, but he's not doing enough good things.
Yeah,
people got to think. He's not an organising halfback. He's not the man that's gonna.
That's right. He's not the man. He's a foil at best. Yeah,
he's a lead man.
You need a dominant half if you're going to play Flanagan in the halves. Like
he's last rugby league for the Dragons. He was a reserve grade playing at the Dogs, and obviously the Roosters let him go. The Dogs didn't let him go from being halfback. So I mean,
if you've got Corey Hughes or you've got Cleary playing as your primary 7, then okay, you probably get away with Flanagan as your 5'8".
Well, we had that last year.
That might be all right. Yeah, but didn't work out too well, did it?
Jesse, remember what Ben Hunt said when Ben Hunt was still there? He goes, if Gutho's coming to the Dragons, he'll make a good 5'8". And he got the trouble playing it with Flanagan before he left.
Slip of the tongue, but was telling us the truth.
Yeah. So
look, Kyle Flanagan may be off the bench as a hooker, as a fill-in player, but then we've got Liddell. So, look, got to be getting close. I want to see that reserve grade hooker, reserve grade half. What's his name?
Jonah Glover.
I want to see him get a go. Give him a go.
Why not?
I reckon we should.
Reed.
Well, he's the other one, but might not be ready yet.
Well, I think you said the elephant in the room. I think the thing is, Ilias got dropped after 3 or 4 games, and we've lost a lot of the games have been flogged, and Flanagan's still
won 2 of our last.
And I reckon he was better than Flanagan.
Yeah, and Ilias got dropped pretty quickly, so it's not right what's happening.
Look, I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. It's almost like Flanagan's the only one. He would be the only one. Let me ask you this. If Flanagan was playing at any other team, would he get selected?
No.
Which team would he get selected? Maybe the Titans?
Maybe Newcastle.
Maybe Newcastle.
No,
he's not getting selected anywhere. He's got to let it. Flanagan's got a responsibility not just to his son, but he is the coach of our club, so he's got to consider that as well.
Well, maybe Mrs. Flanagan's got a bigger word to say in that. Like,
yeah, probably.
Because if you got my son, don't come home.
You won't be getting any this week.
Don't come home.
Jesse, didn't Plano say that Cole's been one of our best this season?
He did say that.
So that's blinkers on. That's blinkers.
Is he watching the same game as us? I don't think he is.
But no, you're so
nobody is thinking that.
He's doing better than a few other halves around the area.
He's being solid, but he doesn't have another level.
But the media is right. He is not the guy to lead. The dominant half.
It's not an organising game.
Not that player. No.
Not
Cookie to 7.
No.
No.
Maybe Cookie to 13.
Anyway, we'll get into our predictions. We'll start with you, Rob. So, what do you think is going to happen? And we'll throw this one in. What reception will Zach Lomax get at Wollongong on Saturday night in his first game back there?
I think he's going to get booed. I can't see any other way of anything happening. The crowd will boo him. It's as simple as that. He could have stayed at the Dragons, but he wanted to leave. He wanted to get out so badly, and he got his wish. And as much as we loved him at the Dragons, he was a great player for us. And obviously, he's played Save Origin. We've seen what he's done there. He's going to get booed. There's no other way to look at it.
It'll probably fire him up too. That's the problem.
It fired him up last time.
Yeah.
So he might have his goal kicking boots on. He might let him catch a couple of high balls and score a try. That's obviously the big concern. But we need to win. I mean, if there's a chance. I thought Parra, the Titans game, I could have watched any other game. I watched most games. I just thought it was boring.
I reckon the fans should just leave him alone with how badly we're going and just do nothing.
So on paper and in everything, I feel like we should be winning by a fair bit. But I've got a feeling this game might be closer than what we think. But if the Dragons can turn it on and play consistently, then we should be winning by about 18 or 20. But if we're inconsistent like what we've seen, and we were ahead, correct me if I'm wrong, 12 against Cronulla at half-time.
Didn't score another point.
But then they scored 30 or 34 or 36 unanswered points or something, Cronulla. So I always worry about that, mate. So I think we're going to win well, but if we're not playing as well, I think we'll just win. So
it's a danger game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a concern, mate. It's a real worry. And God heaven forbid if we lose, well then Cole's got to go. You can't keep him in the team.
It won't matter. They'll select him
in this game.
Me.
Sorry, mate?
Anyone give Parra a chance in this game, mate?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
If we're inconsistent, like we have been the last couple of weeks.
You guys are going to hate me, but I'm tipping Parra.
Lomax had a blinder last time he played us, Youngie.
Yep.
Do you think? You touched on a little bit. What reception do you think he gets at Wynn Stadium on Saturday?
I think the fans will come out and boo him. You can't hear me. I think the fans will boo the hell out of him, but he'll turn up for it.
I can't hear, man. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. You're going off. But I'm going with Dragons. Dragons to win. Dragons to win. Tui Pelori to score. And I think Cookie will get one. 24-16. There you go.
What are you going to say?
I hope you're right,
Lomax, Big T?
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Lomax, he's back in Wollongong. What do you think's going to happen with him, with Lomax? Will Lomax cop it at Wollongong, at Wynn Stadium?
The fans would be wise not to. It's just going to fire him up.
That'll fire him up.
Yeah.
He'll try and have a big game. He would love nothing more to beat us at Wollongong. He would love
nothing. Do nothing.
Don't fire him up.
Jesse, question for you. Watching NRL 360 tonight, they were saying that Cole's time should be really up. There's a hard road of games coming up for us. I mean, let's be honest. If you look at the games we've got we're playing the top 5 or 6 teams, I think. In the
We
next
play the
4
Bulldogs,
games.
Roosters. We got the Raiders twice. We got the Sharks again.
So wasn't it the game now for Glover or for Ilias to come back into to be halfback? This game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they're going to lose them if they don't give them a shot because the pathway's been blocked. King Togi has been going good.
I mean, how can
There's
you have
11
a
games left. We've got to win
South
probably. We need to win probably about 6 or 7 to play finals footy.
Not going to play finals. It's not going to happen.
Can you hear us now, Big T?
I can hear you now, yes. I lost audio because
right.
we've been on for so fucking long.
But Darren, you just said it, man. I mean, New South Wales Cup team won 8 games in a row. I know it's Cup compared to NRL, but 8 games in a row, and you got out those halves that just don't get given a go.
Yeah, Willie Talau can coach because he had them at under 21s, and they were in similar form. They made the finals, didn't they? And now he's coaching a reserve grade team and going just as well. So could be a future coach, Willie Talau.
And anytime try scorer as well for you, Youngie. Which Dragon will get a try in this game? You think?
Tui Pilato. If he's fit, he surely should score. I don't know whether we win or not, but he should get 1 or 2.
I'm going to go with the Dragons. I'm not confident though. Parramatta, they've been a bogey side for us in many years. Actually, this is our first meeting since 2018 at the venue, and we've played 6 times at Wollongong. We've won 4 of 6. Parramatta have not won at WIN Stadium since 2001, but the meetings at WIN Stadium have been few and far between. Our last meeting there was 2018 when Matt Duff scored a try right on the bell to win us the game. Parramatta led the whole way. If we're going to win, I'm going to go Dragons by 2. I'll go. I'm going to go Val Holmes to be in. No, I'll go Guffo to get a try. He got a double last time we played Parra early in the year, and I'm going to go Guffo to get a Dragons by 2. Big T?
I didn't hear me before. Couldn't you hear me?
No.
Couldn't you hear me at all?
No.
Okay, let's go again. Dragons 2 Florida to score. Cookie to score. Dragons.
And your thoughts on what's going to happen with Lomax? What reception does he get at WIN Stadium?
I hope he gets booed and things thrown at him. No, I'm only joking. I hope he gets a bit of a Bronx cheer when he gets
Who's
there.
marking up on him?
Bit of booing when you get there.
Ooh.
That'll be a big battle, Rob.
Good matchup.
CT and Lomax.
Yeah, that should be good. I just think we'll win well if we're on. And if we're not on, then we're in danger of losing. So I just hope we're on. You know what I mean? I really hope for it. I reckon Val's going to sharpshoot for us and score a try. So
he's going to wear his Queensland jersey under his Dragons jersey, isn't he, Big T?
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope he does. Or even at least where your Maroons budgie smugglers. That'll be a good game. Where your budgies.
Anyway, thanks for joining us this evening. Don't forget, Sunday we've got our 2 special guests, the head of St George Female Pathways, Michelle Anderson, and Dragons legend Sammy Bremner, and the first ever captain. Yes, Big T.
No, too good. I'm saying too good. Speaking of Sammy Bremner, is going to be an absolute ball. I love Sammy.
Hey guys, while I've got you here, I've just got a text here, right? Rugby league related. New board member to be announced, Donald Bell for the Perth Bears. Donald Bell.
I've
Wouldn't
got
be
one
surprised.
Undercard to the SPW and Gal fight. Liam Scoop Fallon versus Matt Hasler. Have you heard that one?
Oh, that's the crow of the week.
That's bring it on, baby. Oh,
I heard you're officiating that one, Rob.
Is that a heavyweight going against the flyweight? Am I right or not?
The hazmat's got to trim down.
It's going to be on the pay-per-view channel.
Actually, Benny O'Brien's already said he wants to referee that fight as well.
What's going on with him? I haven't seen him on the show for a while. Have I missed something? Has he been fired or something?
Who's that?
No.
Hey? I
Who's
haven't seen
that?
him on for a while.
He
The
doesn't
little
do
guy.
Tuesdays. He can't do Tuesdays.
Yeah, weather.
Maybe I.
All right, let's go.
All
Anyway,
right, boys.
thank you for
See you
joining
later.
us tonight,
Thank you, guys.
everyone. So
Thank you.
we'll be back on Sunday for our special with Sammy Bremner and Michelle Anderson. But come on, Dragons fans, fire up!
All right.
Get your beanies.
See you, boys.
Nice.
Oh, this is
Coco is at Pell's heart, she wears it on her sleeve. As Mustard tells tales of dragons, wins and tuna victory. Tony and the MV crew will do their very best. Getting off topic and I digress with a red bee on our chest. The Mad Dragon podcast is a sheep of camaraderie. Navigating rants down rabbit holes in the land of big wet bees. And so our peddlers speak the tales and our friendship is our dream. The Mad Dragon podcast, funded by our team.